So I answered her.
Okay, I thought you were.
Yeah. Yeah, no, she, just because she's the headliner, she's the boss. But she's cool. She's an awesome boss. I love it. I love working
You're
with
your
her.
own boss.
Huh?
You're your own boss.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe. Yeah, but we're having a blast on this tour. I'm excited for you guys to see this show. Her show is amazing, and ours. I'm just so excited because I finally get to tune in my show with like production and lighting and stuff like that. I'm sitting at the lighting console every other day, like fixing lighting cues and like timing it out to songs. Like we've got these really cool moments where it's like I stand there and like a ton of lights hit me and you can fry a freaking marshmallow that's so hot. But it's awesome. It feels so cool. It's like I have power of lights. It's awesome. So I'm excited for you guys to see it. Yeah.
You are a year younger than me and you've done so much so far. Like, what inspired you to just keep going when you just don't feel like it?
I don't know. I don't have any other options. My manager actually made a funny joke, and he was actually 100% accurate. He's like, the best thing, he's like, my favorite thing about you, when I first met him, he said, my favorite thing about you is that you have no plan B. And I was like, I don't know how I feel about that. But he said, but no, it's true. He said, people with one goal, one vision, and one dream will get to that vision because they have no other options.
Yeah.
And I was an only child, so I didn't really have a whole lot of other things to do. So music was all I did, you know. And so, yeah, I don't know. I just it's a crazy dream, but I've also known that you can only be as big as your dreams are. You know, if you don't dream big, you'll never see anything else. And so I dream ridiculously big, obnoxiously big, and so far actually everything's working. Everything's coming true. Things are working. I get to see bus number 2 next year on part of our route, and you know I got a truck full of stuff, and we're building a set for our Most Wanted tour next year at some point, which is probably not going to be called the Most Wanted. I keep referring to it as the Most Wanted tour. It's probably going to be called something else, but yeah, no, I don't know. I love it though. I'm passionate about it, and I'm really fortunate, you know. But to be working in the thing that I'm most passionate about, you know, blessed. And I'm thankful for that, for sure. Yeah. Yes?
Did you actually play every instrument on the CD?
I did. I'm the only musician on the record on this one. I got a couple of guys in to help me on the remix. We just did a remix of Wanted, just for the fun of it. So I hired 2 musicians that I really, really admired. One, I heard him on the new John Mayer record. He's a drummer, and he's awesome, and I love his playing. And so I had him play a couple of tracks for me, just for fun of it, because I love the collaboration. But on the record, on the original record, yeah, I had to do everything, which took forever. But it was totally worth it. I'm just used to working that way, you know. It's like I said, I was the studio geek that stayed home and I just made demos my whole life. And so this way of working was nothing new. It was just comfortable, you know. And that's why we made the record that way. I'm really glad we did. You know.
I was going to ask how long that took.
7 months just recording. So 7 months of 7 days a week. We took 2 weeks off, that's it. But we had 7 days a week. I'd stay in, I'd go in around 9:30, 10. I was always late. And I'd show up around 10 and I'd stay till about 1, 2 o'clock in the morning. Just keep trying, just a continuous cycle. A very vicious cycle of coffee and 5-hour energy. And just we kept making the record, you know. It was one song after another. At first we tried the whole, like, no, let's do a song at a time. So we did Strong Morning. Well, that took 3 weeks. And we said, we got to reassess because this is going to take too long. Which actually everything ended up taking that long anyway. But yeah, I was really fortunate. They let me play everything on the record, which was really fun. And by no means did I do it because I consider myself to be a good musician, because I definitely don't. But I'm just used to making my own demos, you know. It's a fun process, you know. It's the creative thing, right? It's like when you get to be involved with something that you're creatively invested in, that you care about. You get to be involved with it from the beginning to the end. It's really fun, you know. It just makes you feel that much more proud of what you've done, you know. So, yeah, all that stuff, all that.
How old were you when you started?
2.
Yeah?
Yeah, 2 or 3. I got my first accordion when I was for my 2nd birthday. Poor parents. And then it was a drum kit for my 5th birthday, and that was their idea.
I've been living this myself.
Yeah, yeah. You catch my drift here. But yeah, no, it was. It started early. Yeah, which is a good thing. That's why I'm.
Passion.
Yeah, it's weird.
Gotta have passion.
It's weird because my parents aren't musical, So it's not been weird to me, right? It's all what you're used to, right? You know, it's like if you grow up with siblings, then you can't imagine life without siblings. If you grow up without siblings, you can't imagine life with siblings. You know, it's the same thing. It's like growing up in a non-musical family, I'm used to that. I'm just so accustomed to it. My parents, I'm really thankful. I don't know exactly what the whole term stage parents means, but the really cool thing about my parents were because they weren't musical, they basically figured out that that's what I wanted to do, and they started learning about the business, and it was more or less just to protect me. So they found out about the opportunities, and we didn't, they didn't push, but they helped me kind of get every opportunity I had to do what I do, and to get to do what I do. And they were creatively, they were like just hands up, like, hey, do whatever you want to do, write however you want to write, like no input, just because they knew that that wasn't their thing, and so it was always my thing and my thing alone, which was kind of fun, and it was a really fun way to be. For a personality like mine, I needed that. I needed to kind of lose on my own, figure it out, So it's great. They were really supportive and still are.
This is what you wanted all your life.
Yeah. I get the question every now and then, like, when did you decide to do music? And I was like, I didn't. I didn't decide. It was just kind of instinct,
That's great.
Which is really bizarre when you think about it. It doesn't make any sense whatsoever, but it's the story. Yeah, for
You're a
sure.
lot clearer than you mentioned.
Oh, thank you. Now I'm blushing. Cool. Yeah.
So when you were younger, back in Louisiana, did you do hip stuff? Because did you go to truck pool?
Say what?
Like, I'm from New England and I've gone to PBRs and truck pools and stuff. I mean, do you do stuff like that?
Yeah. I rode bulls when I was a kid. No, I didn't.
Okay, and have you
Yeah. No, I get you. No, I didn't. It's the weird thing. I was very much like the total geek. Like, I stayed in my little home studio all day long, every single weekend. Like, my friends would call, like, hey, we're going to the movies. Like, I got this demo I'm working on. I really want to finish. I just want to be done with this thing, It was like I'd literally stay there for hours on end. I was that guy. Total geek. Yeah.
How old were you when you recorded your song?
I was 6. I was 6 years old. Want to know what that song was called?
Yeah.
6 years old. It was definitely called 6 years old. And it made no sense whatsoever. Still doesn't. But that was my first song. So, yeah. Yeah.
That song's actually on Tumblr.
That's not good. Don't tell anybody that. Don't say that. Shh. That's embarrassing. Patrick, just do me one favor. Just never go looking for my old music. You never would. You don't care anyway. I mean, you probably wouldn't want to check it out anyway, but just don't. Just don't. Don't use it as like a prank at the end of the tour. It's not a good idea. Yeah, don't release like 6 years on or anything. So, we're good on time. Should we probably
one or two more.
wrap it up, or a couple more questions or whatever? Okay. Just making sure. My band's going to start sound checking without me in a minute. What's up?
Who do you miss the most from back home?
Who do I miss
Yeah.
the most? Well, the really cool thing is that my family, my mom and dad moved up with me. And so that's been really cool. And I actually, funny story, I wasn't really friends with this girl in high school or middle school, but we were sort of distant friends, right? For some random reason, she ended up moving to Nashville a couple of years ago as well. And so now we hang out, now we're best buds, like we get along great, which is so funny because we were on opposite ends of the social spectrum when we were in high school and middle school, and it's just funny to me. But I miss my grandparents a lot from Louisiana, which is why I'm going to see them in a couple of weeks for Thanksgiving, which I'm really looking forward to. But my grandparents, my aunts and uncles, my cousins, everybody, the whole family, everybody that I see for like Christmas, really miss them a lot. My grandmother actually surprised me and booked her own tickets and made her own way, which, normally she talks to us about like traveling to shows and stuff. She came to the CMAs by herself. Like, she found a friend that would drive her, and she was like, I'm going. And booked her own hotel room, bought her tickets. Like, if I'd have known, I felt so bad because I would have bought you a ticket, Mimi, come on. She was like, no, I just wanted to come. I didn't want you to worry about it. And so the moment she showed up, I was like, this means something. I don't know what it means, but she's here, and that means something. So it was really cool. She was there for the award show. That was really special. Really special. She was also there for CMA Fest this summer, too. So my family's been traveling a lot more than I thought they would from Louisiana, which has been really nice. But I still miss them like crazy. So, yeah.